A crisis boiling over. Tonight on Our News, live at 7, a former immigration minister sounds the alarm on the chaos in Haiti, urging Bahamians to wake up. We'll tell you what he says about the danger zone now under a travel advisory. But first,
police with their hands full this morning as they're investigating two separate shooting incidents, leaving one man dead. Stay tuned to Our News tonight for more details.
Plus, a new day for Grand Bahama as Celebration Key set to open this weekend. It's being called a game changer, and the buzz on the island is real. Atalia Hall takes us to the site. Then, in Our News at 7:30.
Frustration on the road as bus driver complaints continue. I'm Delvado Emmanuel, and that story is just ahead.
Our News live at 7 starts right now. Welcome to Our News live at 7. Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Candino Knowles. A man shot and killed overnight while getting water from a neighborhood pump is the country's latest homicide victim, a father to a 10-year-old boy. Police responded to the corner of Patton and West Streets just after investigating another shooting in Nassau Village. Our Joshua Williams was on the scene this morning in Baintown, where he spoke with police and someone who knew the victim well.
I'm glad he got closer with God, because if he didn't get closer with God, I think his soul would be, I don't even know.
It's a nightmare turned reality for this woman who chose to remain anonymous. The father of their 10-year-old son shot dead through West Street in the Baintown community just after midnight Friday morning. ShotSpotter technology alerting police to gunshots in the area. Press Liaison Officer Chief Superintendent Sharia King tells us what they've gathered so far.
A male was a resident of the area, was walking on West Street when he's in his 40s, early 40s, when a dark-colored Japanese vehicle, small Japanese vehicle, pulled up alongside him, opened fire on him, fatally wounding him.
The mother of his child identifying him as 32-year-old Jimmy Laurenville, also known as Yoshi. She admits the deceased had his troubles in the past.
And he had a hard life growing up too, because he lost his mother and then dealing with court and battling, like getting his citizenship and stuff together. And then when he finally got some documents, he ended up in a situation with some drugs and whatever, and his stuff got taken. So after he come out of jail this last time, I don't know what happened to him, but he just was older. He wasn't the same no more.
She says despite his shortcomings, he was a great father.
Anything my son wanted, my son needed, but my son was too weak to teach my son the alphabet and teach him how to count. My baby never forget that. My baby never forget when he started teaching him how to count. He still have that toy. I put it in the he started give him and teach him how to count, if you understand.
Chief Superintendent King also informing us of another shooting that occurred in the Nassau Village community.
But what we can say is that a male was shot to the upper body, and as I said to you guys, he was transported to hospital. At this present time, he's in stable condition.
Police are appealing for any information on both of these matters. Reporting for Our News, I'm Joshua Williams.
All right, thanks for that, Josh. Former Foreign Affairs Minister Darren Henfield urging Bahamians to take the situation in Haiti very seriously, warning that things are boiling out of control. In recent weeks, Our News has reported in our World News segment how gangs have overtaken parts of Port-au-Prince, hundreds have died, and critical infrastructure lies in ruins. In response, a multinational security mission led by Kenya was deployed to stabilize the region. The Bahamas among the countries committing troops from the Royal Bahamas Defense Force to support the effort. This week, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs issued a travel advisory urging Bahamians to avoid all travel to Haiti. Henfield, who saw the turmoil firsthand as a Defense Force officer in the 90s, says the situation has only deteriorated since then.
I don't think it's reckless to say almost ungovernable. There's no firm governance in Haiti. Gang rule has been pushing back the government of Haiti and forces in Haiti. The administration in Haiti since the death of Jovenel Moïse in 2019. The Kenyans have made an effort. Others have made an effort through CARICOM. I think we have some troop members there. But Haiti is an ungovernable place that where the government has no control, really.
And of course, the tragic news of 2 Bahamians killed in Haiti last weekend still fresh in the minds of many. On Sunday night, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs released a statement reporting 3 Bahamian men and a Jamaican man were on a speedboat near Ile de la Tortue when they were shot. During the attack, 2 men were killed and another was hospitalized. Henfield, who also formerly represented North Abaco in Parliament, where one of the victims was from, said the incident hits close to home.
I think the government is doing, from what they've said to me, they're doing all that they can at the highest levels to have those bodies returned to the families. I know one of them personally of Sandy Point, Joey Russell. I know his family personally, and I've been speaking with them. And I think Foreign Affairs has been forthcoming with them and doing their best. And so we've asked them to be patient, but we've also indicated that, there's a responsibility for all authorities in Haiti and elsewhere to do all that they can to cause Bahamians and the family to come to a good understanding of what's going on there.
All right, a sex offender's hope for early release has been dashed by the Court of Appeal. The man was sentenced to 4 years for unlawful sexual intercourse with a 15-year-old girl. The conviction stems from a July 3rd, 2023 incident when he went to the teen's home where they had sex. The 23-year-old convict questioned why prison officials had not given him time off for good behavior, but the court told the man that sex offenders were not entitled to a sentence reduction. All right, it's being called a game changer for Grand Bahamas economy and its future. Carnival Cruise Line's multi-million-dollar port Celebration Key, it's finally set to open. The island is buzzing with excitement. Natalia Hall has more from the site of the highly anticipated launch.
Well, I'm standing near the entrance of Celebration Key, and come tomorrow, July 19th, is expected to be a big day for the islands of Grand Bahama. This is Celebration Key will welcome its very first cruise ship. Now, this is something that residents have been looking forward to for months now, and hundreds of guests are expected. Well, we spoke to a few employees several months ago who shared what that experience will be like for them.
Entertainment team is going to be responsible for all the hype on site. Cabana services team, day beds, cabanas, super villas. Our guest services and ShoreX team ensuring that the moment people walk off of the pier, they have live music, information, organizing all of the tours that are on site, all the rental shacks. So we're going to have points of contact for all of the guests throughout the entire site of Celebration Key.
And then there's Pearl Cove, which manager Don Russell says is a premium beach club designed for guests who want a more elevated experience.
We'll have sushi, we'll have sashimi, we'll have more of the luxury offerings for our guests.
From vibrant live performances to immersive cultural showcases, manager of entertainment Ryan Smith says entertainment will play a major role.
Every day on Celebration Key, there will be a Junkanoo rush out, not once, but twice per day. And to all the people in the Bahamas, if you ever wondered if the culture of Junkanoo is still alive in Grand Bahama, it is. Don't worry about it. But the passion and the drive that you see from the persons here in Grand Bahama was way beyond what I expected. And once those guests get off those ships, they will be fully immersed in what I consider to be the greatest show on earth.
And according to manager of guest services and ShoreX, Letitia Scott, guests won't be confined to the park.
I know people think that, guests are going to come off this cruise ship and they're going to stay at this water park, but most definitely not. They're going to be happy and excited about going into Grand Bahama, seeing what we have to offer, seeing what these vendors have to offer. We have kayaking, snorkeling, ATV rides, they have tours. It's lots of things for them to do.
Now, that first cruise ship is expected to be in port between the hours of 8 a.m. and 9 a.m. That will be followed by a ribbon cutting ceremony at 10 and a tour of Celebration Key. Reporting in Grand Bahama for Our News, I'm Natalia Hall.
All right, thank you so much for that, Natalia. We've got much more to get to tonight, but for now, it's time for your first look at temperatures. Meteorologist Greg Thompson in the Weather Center. Greg, happy Friday.
Yeah, thanks, Kadino, and a happy TGIF, everybody. A very warm day around the islands. Temperatures back into the 90s, but we are settling into the mid-80s right now. 86 degrees our current temperature on the outside. Few clouds, and it is a bit on the breezy side. Your winds are out of the east at 15 miles per hour. Feels like temperature is at 89. Temperatures around the family of islands, it's very warm, 87 in Freeport right now, 84 in Marsh Harbor, Abaco. We pick up 86s, Alistown, Bimini, Nicholstown, Andros, Great Harbor, Keith, Berry Islands, and here in the capital, Governor's Harbor, Eleuthera, 85. Central Bahamas, more mid-80s there, 86 in Kemps Bay, Georgetown, Deadman's Key, Port Nelson, and in Arthurstown, Cat Island. Black Point, Exuma Chain, and Coburn Town, San Salvador, 85s, and into the Southeast Bahamas. Also into the mid-80s there with 85, Duncantown, Ragged Island, Colonel Hill, Cricket Island, Abrahams Bay, and Providenciales, Turks and Caicos Islands. Delectable Bay, Acklands, 86. Matthewtown in Agua, you match Freeport's temperature at 87. Satellite radar composite, high pressure system building at the surface and across area from the east actually, moving across area. That's introducing some dry air mass across us, very breezy conditions continuing throughout the island's chain for tonight and into early parts of tomorrow. Northern extent of a tropical wave passing just west of Andros, generating a few showers down there. Most of the activity is waning, but that wave will continue to pull towards the west and away from us. But that high pressure system will dominate our weather for the weekend and into the early part of next week before we see an upper level low getting in here. That's going to introduce a few more showers for the early part of next week as well. That's your first look at weather. Stick with us. A look at your extended forecast is still to come.
Coming up in sports, the profile of Bahamian baseball is at an all-time high internationally, but the spotlight is about to be on the next generation with a new youth initiative by the BBA.
Hey, Greg Thompson here, and thank you for watching. Be sure to hit that follow button. And if you want to see more content like this, follow all of our news social media pages. And hey, don't forget to turn on your notifications so you never miss out on the top stories from the team you already trust.
Yo, what's good, my loyal viewers? Ronaldo Dorset of 10YS here. First of all, thanks so much for watching, but be sure to hit that follow button. If you'd like to see more content like this, follow all of the Our News social media pages, and of course, don't forget to turn on your notifications so you never miss out on the top stories from the team, well, from the teams you already trust.
Each week, we go into the heart of our second city and talk to the people helping to shape this community.
This is what makes me happy to come to work every day, to know that I'm helping someone.
These are the faces of the Grand Bahama Port Authority, helping to maintain infrastructure, grow the economy, and bring a better quality of life.
Our mission statement is to better the life.
Because I have to be a part of Grand Bahama.
Join me at Talia Hall every Wednesday at 7:30 p.m. right here on Our News as we share these inspiring stories of Freeport. Stay with the team you already trust.
Welcome to Our Sports at 7, presented by 10th Year Seniors. I'm Ronaldo Dorset. That's John Marknut. Let's do show. We're a week away from the first of its kind showcase in Bahamian baseball as the country's youngest stars are set to take over the Andre Rogers Stadium. The Bahamas Baseball Association will host its inaugural Youth All-Star Weekend July 25th through 27th, featuring the top players in the 8U, 10U, and 12U divisions throughout the country. The BBA's All-Star Weekend will feature a packed schedule of competitive games, skills challenges, and for the first time, a dedicated media day where the spotlight shifts directly to the young players. The weekend begins on the 25th with the official Media Day session where players take part in Q&As and interviews before showing off their skills in the skills challenges, home run derby, fastest runner, and golden arm competitions.
The Bahamas Football Association is preparing to host the U.S. Virgin Islands to a series of international friendlies. The two sides will face off July 25th and 26th at the Roscoe A.L. Davies soccer fields. The event will feature 4 matches over 2 days, giving the players valuable experience and fans an opportunity to see competitive youth football.
Breon Ferguson has been putting together a string of impressive performances this summer on the AAU circuit and continues to boost his recruitment stock. Ferguson scored 12 points, grabbed 14 rebounds, and added 3 steals for the Florida Rebels at the Nike EYBL Peach Jam in North Augusta, South Carolina. The 6'8", 215-pound forward out of Downey Christian High averaged 13.4 points, 10.7 boards, and 1.2 blocks per game during the regular season. Internationally, Ferguson also represented the Bahamas at the 2023 Basketball Without Borders Americas event. And we end your work week with the 10YS Plays of the Week. That'll do it for Our Sports. Stay tuned to Our News at 7:30 for details on these stories and more.
When our news comes back from the break, we turn our spotlight to stories making headlines across the world as babies sold for $700 as a global trafficking ring is exposed. Plus, a new agreement gives U.S. immigration officials access to the personal info of every Medicaid enrollee. But Trump administration critics say it's a major privacy overstep. And a top Cuban official is out of a job after claiming poverty is just an act, sparking public backlash and a warning from the country's president. When Our News returns.
In what we do at Best Brew, it really doesn't end when the customer purchases our product. We offer specialty coffee, tea, spices, and brewing equipment. We do a lot of our orders via website. We actually have the mobile service and the phone service and the internet. So having business in a box really kind of brought everything together for us and helps us to be able to provide the customer services that we pride ourselves on.
My name is Trey Williams. I've been a Live Fiber customer since March 2024. The installation process was seamless, effortless, and extremely fast. The gentlemen that came to the installation were very helpful, reliable, very knowledgeable, and the time allocated to do the installation was shorter than the time specified. Yeah, the previous provider I had, I noticed that the internet speed actually had intermittent on the services, so I was very grateful that the live fiber was available in my area. Once I was able to make the switch, my service and everything I needed was satisfied. My favorite feature would actually be being able to add any apps from the Play Store. It's just basically making any dumb TV a smart TV. I do a lot of back-end support, engineering support, helping clients working remotely when I'm from home. Internet is a very important aspect of my job and my life. My name is Trey Williams, and the future is home with a live fiber.
This is Our News. Welcome back. We turn our attention now to stories making headlines across the world. Indonesian police say they've uncovered an international baby trafficking ring that sold at least 25 infants to buyers in Singapore since 2023. BBC reports 13 people were arrested this week and 6 babies rescued. Authorities say the syndicate targeted vulnerable mothers online, offering to cover delivery costs and pay compensation. Infants were held in safe houses, issued fraudulent documents, and sold for as little as $670. Police say they are now working with Interpol to find buyers and remaining suspects abroad. The Associated Press has obtained a new agreement showing United States Immigration and Customs Enforcement will now get access to personal data of all 79 million Medicaid enrollees, including home addresses and ethnicities. The data provided by the Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services will help ICE locate immigrants who may be in the country illegally. Health officials say it's meant to root out Medicaid fraud, but critics call it a serious breach of privacy. It's the latest move in the Trump administration's hardline immigration crackdown. Pope Leo expressing sorrow following the deaths of 2 people in what's believed to be an Israeli strike on Gaza's only Catholic church. In a statement signed by the Vatican Secretary of State, Cardinal Pietro Parolin, the Pope says he's deeply saddened by the loss and assured the local parish of his prayers. While the message calls for an immediate ceasefire and renewed dialogue, it stops short of directly condemning the attack. And a Cuban government minister has resigned after sparking public outrage with comments downplaying poverty. Labor Minister Marta Elena Cabrera claimed there are no beggars in Cuba, just people pretending to be poor. Her remarks made during a National Assembly session this week drew rare public backlash in the tightly controlled country. Even President Diaz-Canel indirectly rebuked her, warning leaders not to be disconnected from the people's struggles. Activists have called her comments an insult to the Cuban people. Still to come in our news, today in history, find out interesting facts about the day that was July 18. Then in our news at 7:30, a full day of vibes, live performances, and activities for the whole family. We'll tell you what to expect at this Saturday's big festival at Nassau Cruise Port. But first, from reckless driving to full-on fights, viral videos of bus drivers behaving badly have sparked outrage and renewed calls for serious regulation. Delvado Emmanuel has the story when our news returns.
My name is Troy Williams. I've been a Live Fiber customer since March 2024. The installation process was seamless, effortless, and extremely fast. The gentlemen that came to the installation were very helpful, reliable, very knowledgeable, and the time allocated to do the installation was shorter than the time specified. Yeah, the previous provider I had, I noticed that the internet speed actually had intermittent on the services, so I was very grateful that the live fiber was available in my area. Once I was able to make the switch, my service and everything I needed was satisfied. My favorite feature would actually be being able to add any apps from the Play Store. It's just basically making any dumb TV a smart TV. I do a lot of back-end support, engineering support, helping clients working remotely when I'm from home. The internet is a very important aspect of my job and my life. My name is Trey Williams, and the future is home with a live fiber.
Are you ready for the stormy season? Don't wait until the storm clouds gather. Contact the experts at Alive Business today and let us help you prepare for this hurricane season. For a limited time only, you can get 50% off our Bahamas Cloud, the ultimate solution to secure your data and communications.
On this day in Bahamian history, in 1802, St. Matthew's Anglican Church officially opened. It's the oldest standing church in the Bahamas, built after the arrival of the Loyalists. The purpose of the church was to accommodate persons living in the eastern part of town of Nassau. Its steeple and clock, both erected in 1816, and for many years was the only reliable source of time on the island. Then in 1960, Robert Stapleton became governor of the Bahamas, succeeding Oswald Raynor Arthur. During his time as governor, the Bahamas received its first constitution and was granted self-internal rule on January 7, 1964, which was celebrated as Constitution Day. In his honor, Stapleton Garden Subdivision and Stapleton School on New Providence were named after him. He served from 1960 to 1964. July 18, 2020. There were 2 strikes on the same day, greatly impacting transportation. The first was an airport sick-out that affected more than 17 airports across the Bahamas. Hundreds of airport employees also staged a sick-out, which impacted operations at Lyndon Pindling International Airport. The sick-out involved Bahamas Public Services Union members and stemmed from several issues, including an outstanding industrial agreement and money owed. And finally, also on the same day in 2020, an estimated 75% of bus drivers went on strike to get the attention of government. The Bahamas Unified Bus Drivers Union held a series of peaceful demonstrations across the island after the group said it was not satisfied with the relief package promised by the Housing and Transport Minister.
All right, Teen Challenge Executive Director Eric Fox is working towards the Urban Renewal Department's Youth Achiever Summer Camp to teach young boys carpentry skills. Fox and his team went to summer camps in constituencies across the island, working with the young men to build chairs. We caught up with the team at Nassau Village Community Park Friday. Fox says this week alone, they've worked with at least 100 boys.
Want you to be able to come together without discrimination, without fighting, without warring. Look at this product we can do. This might be a small product, but look what you could manifest if we just come together as a team. So we let the young men put the chairs together.
Fox believes there should be greater attention placed on teaching young men skills like this to deter them from gang violence and other crimes. Bishop Chadwick Dames from the Men's Desk and Department of Gender and Family Island Affairs spoke to another initiative where young men and fathers learn other skills.
We want to take another initiative where we take this off and then we do a participatory program where various partners will come in, bring the car, bring the mechanics out, and we just fix the car on the spot. Or we can just do some more carpentry. We can, even if there's a lawyer, there's a doctor, he comes out and he shares with some of the little boys if they want to be doctors, if they want to be lawyers. But just bringing different professions together to show that there's another way other than gang violence.
All right, if you want to watch that story again and for all of today's top stories, remember you can visit ournews.bs. That's going to do it for us in News at 7. Joining us now is Jerome Sawyer. He's in for Talia Hall with the latest headlines. Jerome, happy Friday.
Happy Friday to you. A big day for our Talia Hall tomorrow in Grand Bahamas. She's getting ready for the opening of Carnival Key there.
I know she's happy to be home. We didn't get to talk today, but I was happy to see her take us through Celebration Key and what it's going to look like. So I invite our audience to stay tuned to Our News Weekend to see more from this weekend's
As Talia is there, as I am here. Thanks a lot. A full day of Bahamian vibes, live performances, and activities for the whole family. Here's a look at your latest headlines.
Ahead on Our News tonight, live at 7:30.
Frustration on the road as bus driver complaints continue. I'm Delvado Emmanuel, and that story is just ahead.
Plus, a man to stand trial for molesting his stepdaughter.
Coming up in Our News tonight, a startling headline about summer activities on the water made me question, how can I ensure my safety here at home? Tune in for that story.
And then later, Made in the Bahamas. Non-stop entertainment this weekend. We'll tell you where to catch it and who's on the bill. Our News, live at 7:30, starts in a moment.
Candino Notes here, and thank you so much for watching. Be sure and hit that follow button if you want to see more stories like this. Be sure and follow all of the Our News social media pages. And hey, don't forget, turn on your notifications so you never miss out on top stories from the team you already trust.
Inti Corporation is on the move, day by day, panel by panel. Our commitment to sustainable energy becomes more real. With each milestone, Inti redefines what is possible. Not only are the Lucaya solar power projects on the island of Grand Bahama growing in scale, they are setting a new standard for energy independence in the Bahamas. These state-of-the-art solar farms at the Fairfield and Devon sites, once completed, will harness the power of the sun to generate 9.5 megawatts of clean, sustainable energy. Inti is on the move as a beacon of progress and innovation that is rapidly transforming our energy landscape. Witness the future of sustainable energy unfolding on the island of Grand Bahama as Inti Corporation shines brighter than ever. Inti Corporation, powering your world, powering your future.
At Struckham, we're all about peace of mind. With the latest tools and technology like PestPack, managing pest control just got easier. It's simple. Log on to the portal to review past services or monitor trends. Just tap Service Reports to access detailed records and see how we're keeping your business pest-free. You can even customize permissions so your teams in maintenance and health and safety have real-time access to everything they need. With PestPack, you're in control, anytime, anywhere. Get ready to simplify pest management with just a few taps.
In the Bahamas, island time is real. The history of Morris Lumber Company, established in 1945, is etched into the fabric of this proud island nation. It's a story that deserves...
Welcome to Our News at 7:30, and thank you so much for joining us. I'm Jerome Sawyer, in for Talia Hall, who's on assignment tonight. Public reactions following a series of disturbing videos of bad behaving bus drivers, the dangerous and even violent incidents of concern to those who use public transportation every day. Our Delvado Emmanuel gets us started this half hour.
From reckless overtaking to erratic stops, residents say some jitney drivers are putting both passengers and other road users at risk. And after a string of recent incidents, they're calling for stricter enforcement and accountability behind the wheel.
The system is very terrible.
And they drive reckless, trying to kill each other for 25 cents, racing on the road, and bad driving. Government needs to do something about them, of police watching them straight through.
This resident voicing growing frustration over the state of the public transportation system, particularly the behavior of some jitney drivers. In recent weeks, reckless driving and unprofessional conduct have come under fire. Shocking videos obtained by Our News this week show what appears to be two bus drivers engaged in a physical fight outside a business. Another video captures the aftermath of what seems to be a dangerous race between two jitneys. These frequent riders who ask to remain anonymous say incidents like these are far too common, and for them, it's become a part of their daily commute.
It was terrible. It's very terrible. I was afraid coming here just now.
They don't take their time to drive. As soon as before you can even sit down, like if the next bus is behind them, they speeding off before you even sit down properly. They don't make sure you're safe. They racing to one another. When you say bus stop, they act like they don't hear you.
But for these residents, their jitney experience hasn't been all bad.
Number 8, they ride okay. But they're older anyway, the number ones. But yeah, so far, not all, but a few of them, they do drive recklessly.
Some of the drivers really get out of hand. Some do stupid things. But the majority of them, they drive nice.
The bad behavior and reckless driving of some jitney drivers have been criticized for decades.
Well, what they have to do, take up plenty of these young guys, them off these 15 routes, give them uniform and properly dress.
Road traffic, they would probably have to step up the enforcement. More road traffic inspectors on the road to ensure that these buses are compliant with the rules.
Reporting for Our News, I'm Delvado Emmanuel.
On to another area of concern for Bahamians, this time whether too many foreign laborers will be used to construct the new hospital in Western New Providence. The 50-50 Bahamian foreign workers ratio outlined in the current agreement is not sitting well with the Bahamians who are involved with the Bahamas Contractors Association. Its president says he's disappointed, saying there's no reason the workforce can't be made up of all Bahamians. Our Berthany McDermott picks up the story from here.
We certainly believe that the project could have been built 100% by Bahamian contractors.
As the government moves forward with the construction of a new hospital for New Providence, the Bahamas Contractors Association isn't happy about the details revealed so far. Specifically, the 50-50 Bahamian to foreign laborers ratio for the project, which Health and Wellness Minister Dr. Michael Darville says the government is still looking to negotiate a better arrangement. Contractors Association President Leonard Sands says experience tells us situations like these don't end in the favor of the worker.
The Bahamian Contractors Association is disappointed that in the 52 years that the Bahamas has been an independent nation, we are still agreeing to terms like 50% foreign and 50% Bahamian labor. Because what we do know is that on almost every single occasion, the agreements are never held by the developers.
The government signed an initial framework agreement with the Chinese government for the construction of a new hospital facility in New Providence earlier this month. Construction is expected to take up to 36 months to complete. Meanwhile, Sands is reflecting on the construction of the Point in downtown Nassau. The heads of agreement mandated a 70-30 Bahamian to foreign labor ratio, but that didn't happen with the Department of Labor having to step in.
You must have active enforcement. You must have persons on the site daily doing a man count. You could say one day there are 10 people inside my house, and you come back next week, I still see the 10 persons, but on the days when you're not there, there may be 15, there may be 40, there may be 100.
Sands says they were not aware of the details of the project ahead of the signing.
The government is free to do whatever they feel is right. However, we believe that if you speak to persons who are most equipped to help you, guide you in the direction for the best of the Bahamian society and the men and women who work in construction in this country, who will have to vote for you, you're giving away their jobs. I don't think it really bodes well for the political person.
Reporting for Our News, I'm Berthany McDermott.
Chlamydia and gonorrhea cases on the rise yet again. Infectious Diseases Director Dr. Nakia Forbes telling a national news conference this week the May numbers show a spike in cases. This follows a temporary decline after an alarming spike in cases back in March. Chlamydia is a common sexually transmitted infection that can cause permanent damage to a woman's reproductive system. Gonorrhea is also passed on through unprotected sex. Dr. Forbes speaking to the rise and fall in the numbers.
After a temporary decline, 151 cases were reported in May, followed by a decrease to 111 cases in June. Gonorrhea cases were 34 in February, 42 in May, and then decreased to 33 in June.
Now, back in February, officials reported 131 cases of chlamydia and 34 cases of gonorrhea. The 15 to 24 years age group accounted for 51% of the chlamydia cases, while 60% were accounted for in gonorrhea. The women represented 74% of all chlamydia cases, and Dr. Forbes explains why.
At this time, there is no evidence of an STI outbreak, but we are watching the data closely. And these numbers remind us that routine HIV STI screening and condom use remain critical to staying safe. But we must also speak frankly about STIs, which are increasing among our youth.
A 40-year-old Haitian man has been committed to stand trial for allegedly molesting his stepdaughter. The man's name is being withheld to conceal the identity of his alleged victim. Now, prosecutors say the man began abusing his wife's child in June of 2024 when she was only 12 years old, and the abuse allegedly continued until this February. The accused is set to be arraigned before Justice Guillemina Archer-Mins on August 8th. Summer months usually mean more time on the water, but it's important to remember that summer fun can quickly turn into moments of disaster. As boating activities increase, so should your vigilance. Our Danielle Miller explains.
It was right here where I read the headline, "Deadly First Weekend of Summer on the Water." The report spoke about a number of boating incidents that happened on Lake Michigan, where one person drowned and another was reported missing. This then made me think, what can I do to ensure my safety when boating? I spoke to Captain of Seahorse Sailing Adventures, Isaiah Adderley, who gave me these tips.
Avoid excess alcohol.
And that was Adderley's most important bit of information, as he says the overconsumption of alcohol can impact all other outcomes while out at sea, particularly his next safety tip.
Be mindful of where you are and what you're doing.
And whether you consider yourself a strong swimmer or not, Captain Adderley also had this suggestion.
You should know where the life jackets are in case of an emergency. Speak with the captain, speak with the crew, find out from them where everything is located. In fact, they're actually supposed to tell you where everything is before you actually leave your to go to your destination.
He reminded me that when on the sea, unexpected situations can and do arise, such as an unforeseen storm or mechanical issues. Here's how you can stay prepared in those situations.
And make sure you know who you're going with. Let somebody know what time you're going and the time you are supposed to return. Even if you don't have cell phone coverage, they can be able to say that you are supposed to come back at this time, we don't see you, we can't hear from you, what's going on? And they can either call the company, or if it's not a company, they can actually go to the police.
Reporting for Our News, I'm Danielle Miller.
Great reporting and great advice there from Denny. Well, it's time now for our first look at temperatures around the country. Meteorologist Greg Thompson is standing by in the Weather Center tonight. Greg?
Yeah, thanks, Jerome, and a happy TGI for everybody. A warm evening on the outside right now after we saw those temperatures get into the 90s, with the feels-like temperatures approaching the triple digits. 86 is our current temperature with a few clouds on the outside. We have a bit of a breeze, east winds at 15 miles per hour, but the feels-like temperature factoring the relative humidity still feels very warm. Feels like 89 degrees on the outside. Satellite radar composite, northern extent of a tropical wave passing just to the west of Andros, generating a few showers and some thunderstorms, but that activity is waning as we speak. The wave will continue to pull towards the west and away from us. High pressure is going to be building in across our area for the next couple of days before we do see an upper level low getting here by early next week. That will continue to generate a few showers throughout the early part of next week as that high moves into the Gulf, and we should see much improved conditions for the middle of next week. That's a quick check on conditions around the islands. Stick with us. A look at your extended forecast is still to come.
Still to come on Our News tonight, did you know there's such a thing as bed poverty? Find out how a community effort in Grand Bahama is tackling the problem through a Build a Bed Foundation. And then non-stop entertainment this weekend with some of the best in the business. It's called Made in the Bahamas. It's coming up when Our News returns.
Hey, Greg Thompson here, and thank you for watching. Be sure to hit that follow button. And if you want to see more content like this, follow all of our news social media pages. And hey, don't forget to turn on your notifications so you never miss out on the top stories from the team you already trust.
Yo, what's good, my loyal viewers? Ronaldo Dorset of 10YS here. First of all, thanks so much for watching, but be sure to hit that follow button. If you'd like to see more content like this, follow all of the Our News social media pages, and of course, don't forget to turn on your notifications so you never miss out on the top stories from the team, well, from the teams you already trust.
Each week, we go into the heart of our second city and talk to the people helping to shape this community.
This is what makes me happy to come to work every day, to know that I'm helping someone.
These are the faces of the Grand Bahama Port Authority helping to maintain infrastructure, grow the economy, and bring a better quality of life.
Our mission statement is to better the life. Because I have to be a part of Grand Bahama.
Join me at Talia Hall every Wednesday at 7:30 p.m. right here on Our News as we share these inspiring stories of Freeport. Stay with the team you already trust.
Well, the Nassau Cruise Port is the place to be this weekend. The port is partnering with Calica and Ricardo Rum for the Made in the Bahamas Festival set to take place Saturday at the amphitheater. Organizers say there will be non-stop entertainment and music out there. We'll get to that in a moment, but first, with the many festivals and entertainment that will bring joy to many this weekend, for some families, the focus is simply finding comfort at home. It's the kind of quiet crisis that often goes unseen. Children in Grand Bahama sleeping on floors or worn-out mattresses. An initiative spearheaded by Island Bedding and by Bahamian.biz called Build a Bed Foundation is a community-driven effort to combat bed poverty. Several churches are assisting in identifying families in need and to help in the fair and efficient distribution of beds. Manager of Island Bedding, Melinda Davis, says after seeing firsthand how many homes lack this basic necessity, they wanted to help. Bahama Third Dimension and Bahama Rock are a part of the effort as well.
Third Dimension is always looking for ways to give back to the Grand Bahama community. So we were happy to get on board with this initiative. And as she was saying before, we realized that there is a need for this in Grand Bahama.
When you look around and you see the single mothers, you see the elderly persons, they're walking to and from home, persons with no assistance, a lot of them do not cry out for that help. But when you go and you begin to be more friendly, more intuitive, and go to them, ask them, hey, how are you doing? And you try to help them along the way. You realize that there is really a desperate need for these beds. There's desperate need for assistance with these children and the elderly.
When you see what's happening here in Grand Bahama, especially here in Grand Bahama, I can only speak for my home. And when you go into some of the people's home and you see that they don't have a bed, your heart can't help but be overwhelmed to see the condition that our people are in today.
And for families like Georgette Bullard's Hurricane Dorian evacuees from Abaco, the impact is deeply personal.
It's hard to have 4 small kids, and I have an autistic son as well. It's hard to find a good job and keep food on the table. So just by even being on the list to receive a bed, it's enough to just a tear to come from your eye, because it says that somebody out there cares for us.
We want to invite corporate Grand Bahama or well-wishers and supporters to come into Island Bedding and put something on the Build a Bed Foundation. No donation is too small.
Come
Coming up in sports, youth sports all around. The BBA prepares to host All-Star Weekend. The BFA prepares to host Under-14 friendlies. Rion Ferguson shows out at the Peach Jam. And of course, your 10YS Plays of the Week.
In what we do at Best Brew, it really doesn't end when the customer purchases our product. We offer specialty coffee, tea, spices, and brewing equipment. We do a lot of our orders via website. We actually have the mobile service and the phone service and the internet. So having Business in a Box really kind of brought everything together for us and helps us to be able to provide the customer services that we pride ourselves on.
My name is Trevor Williams. I've been a Live Fiber customer since March 2024. The installation process was seamless, effortless, and extremely fast. The gentlemen that came to the installation were very helpful, reliable, very knowledgeable, and the time allocated to do the installation was shorter than the time specified. Yeah, the previous provider I had, I noticed that the internet speed actually had intermittent services, so I was very grateful that the live fiber was available in my area. Once I was able to make the switch, my service and everything I needed was satisfied.
Welcome to Our Sports, presented by 10th year seniors. I'm Ronaldo Dorset. That's John Mark Nutt. Let's do show. We're a week away from the first of its kind showcase in Bahamian baseball as the country's youngest stars are set to take over the Andre Rogers Stadium. The Bahamas Baseball Association will host its inaugural Youth All-Star Weekend July 25th through 27th, featuring the top players in the 8U, 10U, and 12U divisions throughout the country. The BBA's All-Star Weekend will feature a packed schedule of competitive games, skills challenges, and for the first time, a dedicated media day where the spotlight shifts directly to the young players. The weekend begins on the 25th with the official Media Day session, where players take part in Q&As and interviews before showing off their skills in the skills challenges, home run derby, fastest runner, and golden arm competitions. Saturday and Sunday are all about the games, with each division playing a 3-game series under the guidance of some of the top coaches in the country. Every athlete will receive an all-star jersey and rings for participation. The new initiative from the BBA aims to raise the profile of youth baseball and recognize the next generation of student athletes.
The Bahamas Football Association is preparing to host the U.S. Virgin Islands to a series of international friendlies. The two sides will face off July 25th and 26th at the Roscoe A.L. Davies soccer fields. The event will feature 4 matches over 2 days, giving the players valuable experience and fans an opportunity to see competitive youth football. Morning matches start at 8:30 a.m. with free entry, while evening matches kick off at 7:30 p.m. with $10 tickets for adults and $5 for kids under 12. Team Bahamas will be coached by Rakia Bain and assisted by Kodisha Brown-Coburg, who have been leading preparations over the past several weeks. The BFA continues its focus on youth development with a strong commitment to building the sport in the Bahamas.
Rion Ferguson has been putting together a string of impressive performances this summer on the AAU circuit and continues to boost his recruitment stock. Ferguson scored 12 points, grabbed 14 rebounds, and added 3 steals for the Florida Rebels at the Nike EYBL Peach Jam in North Augusta, South Carolina. The 6'8", 215-pound forward out of Downey Christian High averaged 13.4 points, 10.7 boards, and 1.2 blocks per game during the regular season. Internationally, Ferguson also represented the Bahamas at the 2023 Basketball Without Borders Americas event. Ferguson has received several JUCO offers, including Chipola, Miami-Dade, Florida Southwestern, Kilgore, Frank Phillips, Trinity Valley, Columbia State, and others. Ah yes, the middle of July. What a great time for sports, and totally not difficult to find top players at all. Here's this week's list. Let's get started at number 5 at the MLB Home Run Derby. An incredible performance from Jazz Chisholm, no matter what anyone says, and great cameo from Gerard.
At number 4, complete chaos, but Toby Simmons shows us why speed kills.
At number 3, let's head to Las Vegas for Summer League. Isaiah Mobley with the poster and should definitely be on somebody's roster.
At number 2, Bo knows ball. Adderley hits a home run to walk it off.
And finally, at number 1, this is what everyone came to Vegas to see. BJ Edgecombe balling out. Grand opening, grand closing. 1 game in Vegas is all you needed. Now we're headed to the league. That'll do it for our sports. This is 10YS. It's a busy weekend ahead. I just want everybody to be safe and stay away from concerts.
As long as Coldplay's not coming here, I think we're safe.
No comment. Back to the studio.
And still to come tonight, more on this Made in the Bahamas showcase. Plus, Greg is back with your extended weather forecast.
Yo, what's good, my loyal viewers? Ronaldo Dorset of 10YS here. First of all, thanks so much for watching, but be sure to hit that follow button. If you'd like to see more content like this, follow all of the Our News social media pages, and of course, don't forget to turn on your notifications so you never miss out on the top stories from the team, well, from the teams you already trust.
In what we do at Best Brew, it really doesn't end when the customer purchases our product. We offer
This is Our News. Welcome back. We have a tropical wave that's passing just to the west of Andros, generating a few isolated showers and thunderstorms. Most of the activity is waning as we speak. That wave will move into the Gulf of Mexico and should be well west of us. High pressure at the surface and aloft in the Atlantic is building across the area. It's been generating some breezy conditions for the last day or two, and we expect the breezy conditions to continue through the early part of tomorrow, but we expect those winds to fall off by the later part of tomorrow and into the early part of Sunday. So we're looking for caution flags across the northwest Bahamas, advisory in the central and southeast Bahamas, and they will fall off to caution flags across all areas. Other than that, we are quiet. The tropics, nothing happening out there. A couple of tropical waves moving across the tropical belt. One central Atlantic, we have one coming off of Africa, another one approaching the Leeward Islands. The Caribbean, quiet. Also the Gulf of Mexico, quiet, and tropical cyclone formation is not expected through the next 7 days. Future forecast showing the quiet conditions across our area with that high pressure building in. We have a thin layer of Saharan dust that's going to be with us. And then here comes that upper level low that's going to be moving into our neck of the woods sometime Sunday into Monday, introducing a few showers, and we could see some isolated thunderstorms as well. Boating forecast for the northwest Bahamas tonight to tomorrow. Small craft caution in effect. Winds will be east to southeast at 15 knots. They will fall off, becoming 10 to 15 knots tomorrow. Seas running 3 to 5 feet. Low tide is at 9:06 tonight. The high tide takes place at 2:53 in the morning. Central and southeast Bahamas, advisory for you guys down tonight through the early parts of tomorrow, but that will be downgraded to a caution. High rip current risk will still exist. East to southeast winds 15 to 25 knots, falling 15 to 20 tomorrow. Seas running 5 to 8 feet over open waters. Here's a look now at your national forecast. In the extended forecast, beautiful hot conditions expected for Saturday. Temperatures will be into the 90s. Sunday, we expect that upper level low to be approaching us by afternoon, evening hours. So we introduce some showers in the forecast Monday through Tuesday. But those temperatures will be back to the 90s, and it's going to get very warm for next week. So if you plan on doing anything on the outdoors, stay hydrated and wear some decent, loose-fitting clothing. That's a look at our weather. Make it a safe night. Have a great weekend, everybody.
So thank you very much, Greg, and great advice there. The Nassau Cruise Port is a place to be this weekend, as Greg said. Be sure and wear loose clothing and hydrate. But the port is partnering with Kalik and Ricardo Rum for the Made in the Bahamas Festival, set to take place this Saturday at the amphitheater there. Organizers say there will be non-stop entertainment with music by DJ Tank and DJ GZ. There will also be performances by Ancient Man, Avi, Fanshawn, and the Higher Level Band. And it's not just adult fun. Commercial manager and events curator for the port, Amanda Friedman, says there will also be activities for the kids.
From the beginning, we've really prided ourselves on being authentically Bahamian, and you'll see those nuances throughout in everything we do. We have Junkanoo pieces where people take photo ops in front of, we're very big and bold about Nassau, how much we love it, how much we love the Bahamas, how much our culture is important to us. We even have a Junkanoo museum. So that goes to show that our commitment really is to showcasing Bahamian culture.
All right, this is the first time Commonwealth Brewery will be sponsoring the event with Kalik and Ricardo Rum as the featured brands for the company. Representative for Commonwealth Brewery, Stephen Roll, told Our News that the company is always proud to be a part of all things Bahamian.
If you haven't been to regatta or homecoming in a long time, I think this is one of those opportunities where you can experience that clean Bahamian fun that we have on the regattas and at homecomings right here in Nassau.
So if you missed the regatta and homecoming field, definitely the port is the place to be this weekend. Well, thank you so much for joining us tonight on behalf of the entire team. I'm Jerome Sawyer. Be sure to stay tuned and stay up to date with what's happening with our Brittany McDermott, who takes the chair for our News Weekend Edition. So on behalf of all of us, thank you so much for joining us. Have yourself a great evening and, of course, a safe weekend.